Diane Butland Hall was an integral member of arguably the best sports class in the history of girls' sports at Amesbury High School. She did it all. She was the premier type of coach's player. According to Coach Gail Kelleher, Diane was an intense competitor, had excellent speed and stamina, always considered her teammates as the top priority, and had an athlete's sense of the game. Diane earned 10 varsity letters, was captain of 2 sports, was a Cape Ann League All-League and All-Star player in 3 sports, and was a 4-year starter for the record-setting softball team during the span of 1986 through 1989. In her first year of playing organized field hockey, Diane was one of the 2 freshmen who was a starter on the 1985 team. During that time, she was second on the team in scoring and first in assists. In just her sophomore year, she scored 14 goals, had 6 assists, and was a player of the game on 2 occasions. That year, the team finished with a record of 17-0-1. Both her junior and senior years, Diane was chosen as a co-captain, was named as a Cape Ann League All-League player, and during the summer was chosen to play in the Bay State games. As a senior, Diane switched to the midfield position to take advantage of her overall athletic prowess. Her stick skills, finesse, and stamina were instrumental in solidifying an already strong defensive team. Amazingly, she was still able to finish third in the Cape Ann League in scoring with 11 goals and 15 assists. Diane finished with 36 career goals. During the winter months, Diane played basketball, and her strength of the team was in her fierceness. She ruled deep in the paint, was a monster at collecting rebounds and tossing perfect outlet passes to her teammates Christy Gleason and Jill Gagnon. She was, once again, recognized by the Cape Ann League basketball coaches as an all-star player. During his long reign in the Cape Ann League, Coach Chris Perry's softball teams were amazingly talented. His teams, during the era of 1986 through 1989, set records that will, most likely, never be broken. Diane started for his teams her freshman year and progressively became stronger in every phase of the game. She had terrific range in the outfield and could be counted on to make long-running catches and complete strong, accurate throws. In addition, she finished her senior year with a .456 batting average. Well-known Amesbury News sports reporter Jack Bowes called Diane Dutch the Clutch and claimed that, in his own words, she had no blood in her veins. Diane's own favorite play was pulled off during the 10th inning of the North Sectional Finals against Pentucket when she took off her home plate on a throw back to the pitcher. Coach Perry's praise for Diane was that she was a fierce competitor, and indeed she was. By the time Diane and her softball teammates graduated from AHS in 1989, they had won 4 Cape Ann League championships and 2 state championships. They are undefeated in 1988 and 1989, with a total of 49 consecutive wins. By this time, their Cape Ann League record had stretched to 58 games without a loss. This record will, in all likelihood, stand for eternity. Looking back over her incredible high school career, Diane is most fond of her time spent with her exceptional friends and teammates. No matter what sport she played, this group molded together. The season spent with her best friend of all times, Christy Gleason, brought out the best in each of them. Diane and Christy were able to raise the bar for their teammates, and this talented group of very special teammates were able to respond at every opportunity. Congratulations to inductee Diane Butland Hall, class of 1989.
With her presenters, Gail Kelleher and Christy Gleason, Diane Butland Hall.
Yeah, so for those of you who know me, I'll be needing these in just a few minutes, mostly because of these ones behind me here, and the few that came out to celebrate this evening with me. So thank you, friends, for coming, and of course, family for coming from California, and Mom, and Deb, too. Hi, Deb. Hi. Good evening, everyone. I'm not a public speaker either, so have my notes as well. Wow, what an evening it is. Whole day, actually. It's been exhausting. It's always a blast to leave the hustle and bustle of California and come home to family and friends, not to mention getting this nice award and being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Words can't express the extreme honor and privilege I feel to be in the company of these fine athletes and individuals, past, present, and future. When Sam Wilmot emailed me a few months ago of this honor, I sat in awe thinking, me? Really? Maybe he has the wrong Diane Butland and email address? And I was like, well, wait a minute, there's not many Butlands in the world. Then I got the phone call from Gail Kelleher confirming this honor and just hearing her voice was like a blast from the past. I felt like I was in high school all over again. I was ready to do some drills on the field. I'd like to say thank you to Sam and the rest of the committee for all your time and effort that you folks put into this great program. I'm sure many hours and much consideration has been put into the selection of each individual in this process. Special thank you to Gail for not only being a part of the committee, but for also the many years of knowledge, training, and expertise that you have ingrained into the thousands of young folks who have passed through these halls of Amesbury High. I'd also like to acknowledge my appreciation for Chris Perry for nominating me and for putting my name in the hat amongst all these talented folks that are here tonight. And by the way, congratulations again to all of you. My mouth's getting dry now. Gail and Chris, as coaches, have definitely made a lasting impression with many folks during their outstanding careers, and I can attest to how wonderful it was to have both of their leadership as a young teenager. Not only were they great coaches, but just amazing people too. They guided us down a great path that showed us that with determination and lots of hard work, and some fun in there too along the way, mostly behind their back, there were no limits that were out of reach for us. As most of you already know, they've certainly left their mark here at AHS, and we really appreciate everything that they've done. Which brings me to one of my memorable experiences here at AHS as being part of an undefeated team 2 years in a row and bringing home to the school our first state championship in softball, both my junior and senior year in 1988 and 89. I think that kind of ranks up there with giving birth to my twin daughters over there as some of my most cherished lifetime memories. Thank you, Kanani Makana. I was certainly blessed to have been surrounded by an amazing core of talented athletes ever since I can remember, especially since we've known each other for close to 40 years. My gosh, yes, unfortunately, I'm aging myself. When we started playing ice hockey together back in 3rd grade, we learned what it meant to be a teammate and to have, here we go, and to have each other's backs no matter what under the awesome coaching of Mr. Arthur, Mr. Gibbons, and Mr. Rowe. Those gentlemen were like second fathers to me, so thank you, wherever they are. I think it was safe to say that we gelled well together since we really knew how to be there for each other, both on and off the fields. My teammates definitely pushed me to be the best I could be, especially one of my best friends and previous Hall of Famer recipient, Christy Gleason. Thank you. She always had an extraordinary drive and competitive nature about her that just made everyone around her want to step up their game as well. It was a pleasure to have served as a co-captain with her in both field hockey and softball. And again, thank you ladies for all your special camaraderie that we've shared over the years. It's very much appreciated. I am completely humbled to be accepting this award tonight, and I don't think any of this would have been possible if not for my wonderful parents. I know my dad is looking down on this celebration and is grinning from ear to ear with pride. Love you, Dad. And Mom, or as most of you know her, Bumpy. And what can I say? I owe everything to you. Thank you for all your sacrifices you've made as a parent and for allowing me to have sports as a major part of my life. I could not have asked for a better childhood. You are and always will be my #1 fan. Excuse me. Actually doing pretty good. Thank you all for your encouragement. Thank you all for your encouragement and support over the years. Oh, and for keeping a wonderful scrapbook, so I'm told. This one's for you, Mom. Love you. Thank you.